Action Comics 1001. Brian Michael Bendis writing, Patrick Gleason on the art. By the way, it's just really weird saying 4 digits. Not that you see them individually, but
Yeah, it is.
it's just
Yeah.
weird to say 1001. Like, so this is the second Bendis Superman book. We were told this was the more Daily Planet focus one, and sure enough, it actually starts. Um, well, not completely, but it starts with at the end of the big opening scene. It actually sort of we get a little bit of like what Clark's story is about the thing that Superman did at the start, and there's some
Yeah.
fun stuff there. He's stopping these two criminals, and the one guy's telling the other criminals like, "Hey, stop shooting them! You're embarrassing me." And then like after he runs out of ammo, he's like, "Oh, please tell me, please do not throw the gun at him. This is just humiliating."
Yeah.
That was really funny. That was just some humor
I
speak.
love it.
Nothing else.
I can't stop myself. Like, he's so freaked out. Superman's there because I thought they were gonna get away. Uh, yeah. Oh, man, the art looks so good in this. I'm just gonna jump to that real quick because
Oh sure.
I like Gleason, but Gleason changed up. I don't know if it's the inker. I don't know if he physically changed his style like Capullo does,
Yeah,
but it's a different kind of Gleason, and
it's
I
different.
I love it.
Even his Clark looks like in the Daily Planet. He's definitely obviously this
Yeah,
makes sense because obviously before in Superman when he was drawing him, he was always at the home where everyone knows who he is. But here he
right.
looks so hunched. He looks so
Huh?
Clark Kent. I
His the,
guess.
the Clark Kent body language. He's got the rolled over shoulders, and he's making himself shorter.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to take up less space. You
Yeah, and
know.
so they're at Daily
Uh,
Planet, and Good and Trish are basically debating, like, hey, why does anyone even try it in the Metropolis? Superman's here. What's the point? Like, he's around, and they're saying, hey, no, there's tons of stuff going here. Well, you could call the cops just as easily. I particularly like Jimmy's lines, like, I'm telling you, there's shenanigans going on here. There's actual shenanigans
mhm.
and malarkey. You should see the malarkey. That was a funny line.
Yeah. So
Bendis nailing the
I
speak.
might be a
Great.
little bit biased because I love Superman.
Uh
You all
huh.
know this. But I also love Bendis when he puts things in a work setting like
Oh,
this.
sure, yeah.
And this is all I've ever wanted was him on a Daily Planet book. You didn't even have to have Superman. Superman's just the bonus.
Basically, you wanted the,
So
the, the TV show The Newsroom, but in the Daily Planet, written by Bendis.
yeah, like well, I
Yeah.
always said I want a Gotham Central book, but set at the Daily Planet.
Yeah.
And you could have, if you wanted to switch up like they did, where you had the night crew and the day crew, you have this division for an arc, and that's the street reporters, and then you even have the gossip one and the stuff she gets into. But here, Bendis has a balance of everybody, and everybody has their voice. Like he's already locked in to the gossip girl,
Yeah.
who super snarky towards everybody, and then you have the new girl, Good, who her whole kind of identity is I'm new here, you know.
Yeah,
So
and
and and
Tr-
then
I think what's
yeah,
interesting about Trish is that Trish, like, obviously this was once upon a time would have been Cat Grant in this role,
yep,
but
yep.
obviously she's promoted. She's got her
Cancer
own
National
company.
City.
Yeah, she's off doing
Yep.
other things. So they bring up that Superman, the kid, said that Superman started the fires, and Clark hears this, so he goes to Melody Moore as Superman, and he's like, "Hey, don't look at my crotch. I know it's really obvious and it's bulging, but don't look at it." Like seriously, his crotch is bulging in there. It's the shadow work. It just looks like it's bulging. Anyway, and he's like, I heard about the kid. Let's talk about this. And she's like, I shouldn't really talk to you about it because you're technically a suspect now. Like, and then there's a great moment where she
Yep.
just looks at the S. She just sees the S. Like, okay, you're Superman. I kind of trust you, but it's not
Mhm.
really you. So they go and track down the kid. And he's sitting there. He's got like I think it's like he's bought cards, like collectible
They're like
cards.
they're like magic cards,
Yeah.
right? Like Magic the Gathering. But I zoomed in on that, and it looks like you remember Amethyst. It's this. It's from the '80s. It's this really
Oh
obscure.
god, I think it's
It
before my
looks like
time. Yeah.
Amethyst. Well,
Uh,
I only know it because our friend James loved the relaunch that happened with the DCE. Is it the New 52 or DCU?
No, it
I
was
can't
New
remember which
52.
one.
I
Is it
enjoyed that
52?
quite a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it looks like Amethyst on the card.
Connor
Um,
unmuting his mic for a second and stopping
yeah.
eating to get gracious with his presence.
Look, I haven't eaten yet today. I'm starving. I'm sorry.
He's sitting there munching. So yeah, so they talk to this kid, and the kid, sure enough, says, "Oh, someone told me and paid me to do this, and I already spent the money." And there's a great bit at the end where Superman's like, "Oh, you're going to go to a shelter and volunteer for a week to
Yep.
make up for what you've done." And he's like, "Really? Can I do something else? Maybe clean up this stuff?" He's like, "Do you want to do what your mother suggested instead?" He's like, "No, no, no. Food bank sounds good.
Yeah.
Sorry." Uh,
It's Superman being intimidating, but not like Batman. Batman would have had the kid wetting himself.
That's his parent.
Superman's like a disappointed dad.
Yeah, it's parent intimidating. Yeah. The one thing the kid says, he doesn't know who it was. He'd never seen him before, but he says he was bald. And then we get this great page where Clark's on the computer looking at a bunch of bald men, and there's like Mr. Freeze, Lex Luthor, Brainiac, what would you call him? Humpty Dumpty. Savannah's there. Hugo Strange. There's a guy whose face is like a boot print. I don't even know where that's going. And then there's quite clearly Dan Didio in one of these panels.
And Brian Michael Bendis with an eye patch.
Yes. And then is that maybe Clayface at the bottom? I guess it's maybe Clayface.
I guess it's some weird.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Do you know what I thought was weird about this? Is that later on we see the bald guy he's talking about, and it's a black guy, and I thought it was weird the kid never mentioned the race of the person he saw, because he would have saw that.
Yeah.
Or seen that, rather, if I speak properly. But hey, hey, whatever. We got this funny joke out of it, this page with Dan Didio, so I'm not going to complain. And Trish kind of noses her way in and starts talking to him, and she's like, hey, so what happened with Lois? This is news. And she ends with, after sort of like try to get to him, as he's trying to walk away, she says, oh, I know what happened. She left you for Superman. Which, of course, is ridiculous to us, but it's like, there's all these rumours. And actually, one of my favourite panels of the entire book is good. Like, she's listening to this, and there's a panel of her just sort of sneaking her head out of her cubicle to listen to this, and she looks like she's just like so like, oh, this is juicy. We're going to do something with this. So I thought that was interesting. So we get a mysterious villain watching like Superman on a lot of computer screens, and he seems to be behind everything.
Yeah, it's also reminiscent of Jimmy. Like it looks like he has red hair.
Oh sure.
Not that I think it is Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't think it's Jimmy.
That's interesting.
But
yeah.
And the final scene of the book is this. So we get this like head mobster, right, who calls together all these other head mobsters. Presumably at this guy at the computer's like he asked them to like do this meeting, and he gets all they're in like a lead tank because Superman can't see them in a lead tank. So really, fun. And they're basically, okay, so who's doing these fires? What's happening? And we see the bald guy who's like, oh, hey, I got Superman blamed for it, so that'll murky things up. And basically what it turns out to be is that all these like different like crime lords have all been like set in like independently. Like it's not been one person doing the whole fires. They basically said to each other, hey, if Superman's distracted with a fire, like a disaster like that, he won't be paying attention to the criminal thing we're doing elsewhere in the city. And they've basically all been using this same thing over and over again. And like, shit, we told us only to use this in emergencies. Why are you all using it? So I thought that was kind of funny. I like this explanation. Is there's all these different criminals just doing it because they all want to have a different distraction.
Well, yeah, but I still feel like it's all a connected. Like this is the first time, really, since Intergang, we've had like a crime. I don't want to say a crime family because we don't know how these guys are, but like a criminal network in Metropolis. Yeah. And like again, this is Bendis writing to his strengths and this is gonna sound odd, but this reminds me of how his Daredevil started. With we're gonna put all these things, throw all of these elements in, and he's gonna go and tie everything together by the end.
I can see it. So we get this new villain that comes in to like take care of the guy who's been acting out of line, to sort of like red fiery smoke. What's her name here? Red Mist, I want to say.
I think it's Red Mist, which again reminds me of...
Red Cloud, sorry. It's at the back. It's the DC Nation page at the back actually has it in big bold letters, so I went to check there.
Well, he's the mob boss looking guy with the mustache calls her. It's on his last speech bubble on that. As you'll know her as the Red Cloud.
So it is. So we basically the final point here though is that we've got this gang of crime bosses. They're all scared of this Red Cloud, and most importantly though, they mention at the end, Superman doesn't know any of these people exist. They have kept so under the radar. They're hiding in lead rooms. They're doing all these things so that Superman doesn't even know they exist. So that's a really interesting idea. And then the final cliffhanger appears to be that Lois is already back on Earth and she's writing something. She's tapping away.
Tapping away, and it looks like she's in Chicago because that looks like the Sears building.
Oh yeah.
So she's not in Metropolis,
and she's writing writing like a book or article. She's got like titles, and some are scored out, but the one at the top's The Secrets of Lois Lane. And then there's another one that ends with outer space, but she's already back, and Clark doesn't know. That's interesting. So clearly that'll be maybe
Truth, Justice, and the Kryptonian Way is one of them.
Oh yeah. Maybe, I mean, obviously the solicit for issue 1004 hinted that there'll be a little bit of a turmoil between them, which some people were overreacting to again, because every time Bendis hints that there might be some trouble between Lois and Clark, there's going to be an uproar.
I learned my lesson, so I don't take the solicits to heart anymore. So we'll see.
Smart move.
It could turn around and bite me.
Yeah,
smart
move.
When 1004 comes out, but also before that, you have the big sprawling page of Metropolis. I feel like we don't get that enough. We get a lot of Gotham, but I feel like you see just how big Metropolis is, and then there's this little cottage area, where this big mansion is. So yeah, that's such a cool. It's like the purples and the reds. It looks really nice. Yeah, no, great issue.
Yeah, interestingly, how would you compare it to Superman issue 1?
I like this one more. I mean, they're both good, but this is kind of more in my niche, like my niche, whatever you want to say it, because it's everything that I've wanted in a Superman book.
Yeah, I think this one's interesting because it feels more Daily Planet, or not even just Daily Planet. It feels more Metropolis focused, whereas the other one's kind of the big cosmic Superman stuff that he's going to be dealing with. So Rogol Zar feels like a Superman thing. The Fires, the Daily Planet, and Lois coming back feels like an Action Comics thing.
Yep.
So it's interesting how they compare to each other. Yeah, I might like this one more as well, actually. There's not much in it, though. They're pretty, obviously, like, consistent with each other.
Same problem as I want the next part as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And now that they're monthly, that's going to be a little bit maddening.
Yeah.
But
you almost ask yourself, why couldn't they just do the arc that's like in Superman bi-monthly, and then do the arc from Action Comics, the first one, for bi-monthly after that, just so you could get them quick,
or just
the pace.
Or just write Action, or just write Superman. Because I'm enjoying both.
Because they're going to want a crossover later.
Yeah.
Sure, but
No,
I don't
that's
care.
why, because it's going to become one big massive thing.
I've had 8 issues now of Bendis on Superman, and I'm loving it.
So, Matt, what's your rating for Action 1001?
It's going to be high, but this is a 9. I loved this issue.
The
art too. I talked about Gleason. Also, real quick before the first page, that's supposed to be Jimmy's desk, right? Because there's all the cameras and everything on it.
I need to look at it again. Hold on. You're asking me big questions
go ahead
here,
and look at it. I was gonna bring it up, but then I just remembered it now.
I'm getting to it. I'm going through the variant covers. Here we go. All the camera lenses.
But if you notice, he has the dial. He has the dial for Dial H for Hero on there. He's got Orko from Masters of the Universe, which tells me that's a thing in the DC universe, which is weird.
Which makes those crossover books bollocks.
Yeah, right? I'm trying to think of some other stuff. I mean, his desk is a mess, which I appreciate, because my desk is a mess. But,
sure. Yeah.
There's something else I'm looking about. But yeah, that is meant to be Jimmy's desk, right?
All those camera lenses, I think it has to be. If it's not Jimmy, then it's this mysterious character who's been doing a lot of his own research.
Right. That's what I was thinking. They have to be tied together.
But it's a Daily Planet mouse mat, so I'm thinking Jimmy.
Yeah. So what if Jimmy is watching over Superman, but it's not for these bad guys? Like I can't see Jimmy selling out Superman.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. There's a bit of a weird Bendis swerve if Jimmy's suddenly a villain.
Yeah, I would not like that.
Yeah, I don't think that's where it's going. The fact that it starts on Jimmy's desk though might be an important detail for later though. Maybe how he's related to the story.
I think so.